Alright, good morning. Vlog number 5. It's a Wednesday morning. Get some gas for the airplane.
Coffee and a 50-cent hot dog.
Need some sunglasses. The coffee machine that is on its 3rd day of working. Backed up, and we got gritty coffee full of grounds.
Yeah, more grains in the Sahara Desert.
So we got 3 sessions today, starting at 10:55, 11:55, and 12:55. That'll be the latest we've run so far, so the heat of the day. Probably get some wind on that last session, so it'll be interesting. Again, we're going to call this one practice again today, supposedly. Things change by the minute around here as far as the rules in the program.
A little slippery.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, we're going to head back. We got the main briefing at 8:30, and then I'm sure we'll have a pit brief at 9 something, and then push out around 10:30, 10, somewhere in there. You guys are out today or any part of the week, come by the pits, say hi. The Behringer tent's right next to my airplane. Come by, we'll be hanging out. Corey's selling brakes, so.
Yeah, if you're lucky, I'll take my prosthetic off and let you sign it.
All right, heading to the briefing.
Thank you, honey.
There you go.
Where'd you get that hat?
Talk to Kevin.
Top secret right there.
Matches his stripes.
There goes another briefing.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
All right, so now to start the commute to the pit. We're gonna go get the truck. Corey's gonna drive the Harley, and we'll get everything up to the pit. It's gonna be a long one, hot one today.
Do you even ride, bro? You even ride, bro?
You got a Harley?
Yeah. You guys can see coming in, like, it's gonna be crazy. Which comes down to the ramp and what we're doing here, pushing airplanes. It's gonna take a vigilant effort on everybody's part to police the pits.
All right, we're out here on the flight line. We're about to jump in for the first run on Wednesday, vlog 5. We have 3 sessions out there, so we're gonna go out and stay out there for hours. So I got my chair. Figure, why not take your chair out, right? So I'll be capturing some of the race shots from the flight line also, so we'll check that out.
Left pivot in 3, 2, 1, pivot. Nice and easy, gang. Looking good. Good job. Have to go to video. That was a good one.
Sometimes they get on the line sideways.
Yeah, no, I've
Well, I didn't film that one, so I turned the camera on right when we taxied out, and then I couldn't remember if I did it, and I turned it off right when we started the race. That's things that happen when I'm trying to film and race at the same time. So sorry about that one, guys. I don't know if we have any clips from it or not. I'll try to find someone to film that, but that was a good race. I pulled way...
Great run, boys. Harry follow Bruce. Great run.
Pulled way too early on the out leg. Slowed down like immediately. I don't know if I had just a little bit of a wind helping me out there, so I had to add power to drag myself to the line, so I lost a lot of time right there. And then I was able to catch back up to Ty and just get him by just a, I mean, it wasn't even a half a second. It was tail drop. I mean, it was really close. So I was able to catch him, but I can do much better than that. I know I can. So again, still trying to find that cut point. What I mean by cut point is when to pull the power and throw it into the slip. I just haven't found it yet. I've been either holding it too long or cutting it too early. I haven't found the sweet spot yet, so I'm still looking for that. I'm glad today's technically a practice day. Should get a minimum of 2 more runs, so hopefully that will give me an opportunity to work on finding that spot. So I'm gonna make a little adjustment on the next run, and hopefully I'll film that one.
The brushes. Brush. All from the brush.
It's our union brake.
Union brake.
In 4 minutes. That was quick.
All right, so we were just all sitting out here on the flight line. So this is the course right behind us. Break time's over. We're going for session 2. I'm gonna hop back in the plane. I did bring my chair out here, so I got a little extra weight today. Yeah, session 2.
Okay, we're cleared down. We're cleared up. Timers, you ready? Ty, you ready? You ready? On the arm drop. 3, 2, 1. See ya!
All right, guys, real quick on that one. It was good. Felt real happy with the way that run went. There is room for improvement, but I'm starting to flirt with that line of if I really push the line that you have to cross to land, then you risk that penalty, and it's not a 2-second penalty like I thought. It's a 5-second penalty. So going 30 feet long is a whole lot better than taking a 5-second penalty. So I'm really not going to flirt with that line too much. I'd much rather be safely 10 feet past it. I know that, you know, the whole point is a spot landing, but when it's that big of a penalty, I'd rather take the 10 feet because it's a split second versus 5 seconds. So we're gonna keep doing that safely across the line thing, and I think I can get a little bit slower as I cross the line still, but I think I got the point where I need to pull the power on both ends. I got my mark. So now I'm just gonna try to be consistent with that based on that last run. If I can keep matching that last run, real curious what the time was on it, but if I can do that, I think I'll come out all right as far as what my goal is. I'd like to see a 107 is my goal time. 109 is the best I've done without a scratch, but that one scratch was a 107, and I think I could fly that cleanly at 107. So somewhere between 107 and 110, if I could match those times throughout the whole event for the 7 that count, I think I'd be doing pretty good. And then the guys ahead of me, the next guy ahead of me is Harry, and he's doing quite a bit. He's almost 2 seconds faster at this point. So then it kind of plays into, is he going to be consistent, or the guys above him going to be consistent? Because I'm sitting right about 9th right now out of 23. And the guys that are above me, I can't catch them with the plane, with the horsepower. So I can catch them by being consistent and not getting those scratch penalties if they do. So at this point, I'm just going to try fly it clean and see where it all falls out. We're just having fun. I'm curious what that last run was, but we should get maybe one more this session, then we got a shutdown, and then another session. I'll probably get one there. So maybe 1 to 2 more runs today. So, yeah.
It's all good, boys. He just put it on the wing. No factor. Everything's okay. We'll roll it back up and push him off.
A little mishap on the other end, and Zenith 750 went up on its wing. Wind got him a little bit, so we're gonna.
Am I good to taxi?
Just shut down.
So we do a knock it off, basically, which means everybody shuts down.
Non-emergency. Everybody knows. Crash Fire Rescue knows it's a non-emergency. They're going to move them off the course.
Shouldn't be an event. I'll start back up when we got it clear and going again. All right, so we're back on. I got course clear. We're back to racing. So hopefully there's not much damage to Justin's point.
You ready? Here we go, Brian. You ready? Brian's ready. Ty's ready. On the arm drop. 3, 2, 1. See ya. About 4.5 minutes here, gang.
Too hot.
Good run, clear to taxi, boys. Ty, follow Brian. Next 2, let's go. We might get one more. We'll see what the time is on this next one. We're sitting at about 3.5, 4 minutes. We'll go fast.
Okay, so on that one, it was good up until the finish. I held it to the same spot that I held last time, but I did something weird there. When I cut the power, I ballooned way up. I gained too much altitude off, dissipate that energy upwards. And then I had to get back down because it's a downhill run from where you cut. You're real close to the ground as you come over that taxiway. So you feel like you're low, and then all of a sudden the ground drops away. So you're already get high, and I kind of pulled up a little bit. So I got way too high. I had to put the nose down, which didn't allow me to slow down. So I was too fast and went way long. Way too much speed when I touched down. Cost me big time on that one. So that's going to be a terrible time, I'm sure. And I went so long, I don't know what Ty did. So he probably got me on that one. But I learned something there by making that mistake. Hopefully I won't make it again. Make sure to keep the nose down when you initiate that slip on the return because of that illusion with the downhill. So again, glad today's practice. Wasn't a horrible time. It's pretty good on the other end. I got stopped pretty short. My mark on that, there's a little hill, and I keep going past the hill. That time I stopped on the hill. So got stopped shorter than I have yet, which was good. So I like that end of it. This end sucked. So always room for improvement. All right, so we're saddling up here. Just got started on the last of the 3 sessions. So at least one run in this one. You know, as long as we don't have anything happen. Yeah, so what I learned from that last one I talked about with the ballooning, I'll try to control that, and that's kind of my goal for this run is quiet clean. Hit those points for the power reduction, and don't balloon. Get slowed down for landing. All right, so we were up next there.
All right, Eddie, you're going to follow Steve. Steve, you're going to follow Tim. Tim, you're going to follow me.
I was next up to run, and we had another one almost ground loop. Getting some real weird dust devils, some real wind. This is pretty late in the day for us to run. It's not normal. So they called it. We're done for the day. Wanted another run, but that's okay. I'd rather save that run for tomorrow and not wreck my plane because there's a bunch of dust devils kept coming across. So we're gonna taxi back to the pits, and that's it for the day.
Boss came down and said, hey, great decision, folks, on the fact you called it. Elements got rowdy, we called it, we made a good decision. We always try to make a good decision when we can, and we're given that opportunity. But that's why I called it, enough is enough.
Hold back, he's gonna go straight up into the sky. Roll it here. The bottom side. He's gonna fly and stop in the side, just like that.
I can throw up all over that airplane. Out of a Tesla, we're making a run for it.
All right, sorry about the locale. It's getting late already, and I gotta get to editing this, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up vlog number 5. Thanks for watching, guys. Kind of a crazy day. We did 3 sessions, all back to back to back. Taxied out once, just stayed out there. The 3rd session got canceled like 4 or 5 races into it because the winds were getting really weird and swirly. We did have 2 incidences during today's sessions. One, we had a Xena 750 go up on its nose, damage the propeller and a wing, possibly engine, we'll see on that. The other one was a Legend Cub where he got, and it's on video, I don't have it to share unfortunately, but he actually got hit with a dust devil, and you can see the wind come under his tail and lift the plane up after he had already landed, lifts it up, and he banged his left wing on the ground, didn't hit the prop, and powered out of it, did a great job recovering. It was amazing he didn't hit the prop. And his plane's okay. So a little bit of scraping on the fabric, but otherwise it looks okay. So those things happened. We kind of debriefed all that. They canceled the 3rd session, and I think that was a good call because the winds were weird, especially since I was the next one to run. Wasn't looking forward to dealing with the swirling wind. The other thing with today was we did the timekeeping and used the rules that we are going to use for the final scoring. So basically did 3 runs. We took an average of those 3 runs to get the score, and then we placed based on those scores with any penalties attached to them. Put me in 9th place, so I didn't really move. It's a pretty big gap to the next guy in front of me. The only big movement today was Eddie, who's in a Highlander with a Sidewinder engine, who's kind of been sitting around 3rd. We've been working on his plane all week, and he got the turbo to finally work right, and he moved up to 2nd. And then the other big move was Harry Beaupre, who's been kind of sitting in that 8th, 7th spot. He jumped all the way up to 6th, so he leapfrogged over Austin and Hal. Did amazing. Like everyone else's times dropped about a minute or 2 or a second or 2 because of the heat today, and his ended up, he got faster. So Harry's doing something amazing. I don't know what he's feeding that Kitfox, but it's really performing well, and he's flying very clean. I had 3 runs. I felt like one of them was really good and the other 2 weren't. The interesting part was that the ones I felt were terrible were only a second different. So when I'm flying it and I'm mad about how I finished it, it's not affecting my overall time as much as I think it is. And so that's good information to have, because instead of beating myself up over it and really trying to hit that line and get stopped, I think it's more important to not get those penalties. Because, explain the penalties real quick, I don't know them all off memory, but the ones that are really big are if you scratch, and that's if you land short of the line, like in traditional STOL. If you land short of the line, you don't get that run, doesn't count. For us, if you land short, it's a 5-second penalty. Well, if you shoot 10 feet past and you take a little bit longer to stop, that's better than 5 seconds. And really what it boiled down to is, even when I came smoking across in the last run and went super long on my stop, I was still able to beat Ty, and it was only a second different in the time. So I do think I have a 107 in me somewhere if I fly a perfectly clean run, but I think the averages I'm going to see if I fly in the morning and we fly clean runs, I think 109 to 110 is where I'm capable of running, and that puts me right in the 8-9 spot. So if I can be in the top 10, that's kind of the goal. So if I screw up and scratch, I could bump myself out of the top 10. If someone else above me screws up, maybe I can move up a little bit. So that's kind of how it's going to play out. We're starting those 8 runs that count towards that total time. We take 8 runs, drop our slowest, and use the 7 as an average those out and get you your score. So we'll start that tomorrow. So stick around. You know, we're not doing a whole lot other than flying, manning the Behringer booth, and then editing these videos. So it's been all practice. Today's kind of like the first day where some of the other classes are racing. Tomorrow is when the real racing starts and all the crowd shows up. So we're gonna have after-hour parties and stuff like that going on. So I'll bring you along for that, and we'll catch you tomorrow.